Are we
5?
on? Episode 5, how to be a hardcore homeowner. We're here with Erik Latshaw, my buddy from Honest Home Solutions. Of course, Shane the Train's here. And we are at one of Erik's newly renovated properties, and we're going to take a walk through it and look at and highlight some areas of interest as a homeowner that if you're not familiar with these areas, you need to be. So
Start sharing, please.
Well, yeah, like it, share it, use it. We hope that it is educational for you. It's pretty basic, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't know some of this stuff. So why don't you come with us and we're going to go inside.
We're going to meet you upstairs.
We are. This is
by the way, guys.
This is 1128 Bluebird in Dallastown Schools.
Okay.
Check it out. It's for sale.
1128 Bluebird. Now we're in out of the cold. So, hey, let's talk about a couple things here. So this is the laundry room or utility area, right? So one of the things I want to highlight, and you're not going to find this in a lot of homes, is, and this happens to be a townhouse row type situation, but look at all these shutoffs and they're all labeled. So that's the hot for the clothes washer. That's this and that. That's the hot for the built-in. Kitchen sink. Hot, cold, red, blue. You can't beat a setup like this because if you see something leaking, you could run down here and shut it off without having to kill the water to the whole place. Really outstanding setup. You don't see it very often. Somebody's pretty lucky to get it. Another thing I wanted to highlight for you real quick. This would be your washer dryer area. So this is going to be your water feed, your hot and cold to your washer and dryer. Coming off of here, you're going to have hoses that connect to the washing machine. Make sure they're the braided aluminum hoses, not the black rubber hoses, because after time, the rubber gets brittle and old, it breaks, it will leak. Okay? Right down here, your dryer vent. This is going to attach obviously to the back of the dryer. It's very important that we keep these things clean and clear. Dryer fires are the #2 cause of fires in residential homes in the world. So it's very important that you make sure you get your dryer vent cleaned every couple of years, and in your actual dryer, that you not just clean out the lint filter, but every once in a while you get down there with a vacuum hose and try to get as much lint out of your machine as you possibly can. It's a very big deal. Keep this area free of anything getting behind the washer and dryer that could be flammable, and you'll be nice and safe. Okay? Now we're going to come over and look what we got over here. You have to step through. So this is our hot water heater. So everything looks really good. It's in very good shape. You see there's no rusting going on. Look at how nice the pipes look. We've got good copper coming off of PVC. Everything looks great. This unit right here, if you can see this little tank, it's called the expansion tank. What this does is, let's say you have a family of 4 and everybody decides to shower the same morning. Well, what happens is, as water heats, it expands. And when it expands, the tank only has so much capacity, so the overflow goes to the expansion tank. Okay? So if this is not functioning, what's going to happen is the water is going to come out of your emergency overflow valve, which is going to flood this floor. So in this house, you can't see it, but can you see right down there? You see that pipe going down? That's a drainage. This one's actually set up to a drain, which is really nice. Most of them, it's just a 1/2-inch PVC running down the side of the unit like this, and it will do that. You can actually hook your water hose up to here to drain this if you ever need to change it. Very nice setup they have going on here. Next to it, obviously, is our HVAC system. You want to check these things out. Make sure the foil tape is all good, that there's no cuts in any seams. This should look like this. Looks kind of fishy, doesn't it? It should look like this because it's made to be able to move around. It's got a membrane in here that's plastic or rubber that allows it for movement. Okay, we want to check all this out. You've got a gas shutoff valve here. Important to know that. If you come in your house, you say, man, I smell gas. If you're walking around and you find the odor happens to come from this room, you're going to want to shut this off, right? Make sure that you pull your panel, change your filter by the recommended timeline of whatever it says on your furnace. This is a Lennox. Twice a year, you want to put the nice big heavy-duty filter system in this and keep your house nice and breathable. Okay, coming this way, that's just a closet. Let's see if we can sneak into the garage here. Here's a very big deal. So I'll try to put my light like this. This is the electrical panel. You need to make sure you know where this is in your home. It's either going to be in your basement, a closet, a laundry room, or a garage. But the biggest thing that I'm looking for here is, one, we want to make sure that we have all the proper switches, that they're all correct. We don't want to have any of the old style knob and tube things, so make sure it's upgraded to code. The biggest thing I can tell you is you want to make sure you see how these are labeled. It's very important to know what breaker goes with what area of the home. So if you're going to change a light fixture in the kitchen, you're going to come over here, you're going to find kitchen. There's 2 of them, safety, kill them both. Then go change your fixture out, and then come back, flip it back on and test it. So if you lose power in a certain area of your house, you come down, you flip it over, you flip it back, should kick you right back in. Okay? Hardcore stuff. Yep, gonna head straight upstairs. Man, Eric, this is a nice place, brother.
Thanks, my man.
To the right over to the front, there's a half bathroom. Let's go take a peek at the bathroom here. So just a couple of things to consider in a bathroom. I don't know if you can get the camera right down under here like this, but you see this pipe, or this hose here? This is what I was talking about, is a braided aluminum hose. This is what I was talking about for the washer machine. This is the stuff you want. This stuff doesn't ever deteriorate, rot, corrode, anything. It's awesome. If you don't have this in your house, make sure you get it changed into some of this. You can see here, that's a shut-off valve for both the hot and the cold water. And then right down here at the commode, that's the inline water feed for the commode. I love the fact that that's a stainless inline right there, and there has a shut-off. So what happens is if something malfunctions or you get a leak in one of these, you go right to the source and shut it off. You don't have to kill the whole main to the whole house. It's important that we know about these things so that we know how to take care of our stuff. Right? Going pretty fast, but it's all good information. So now we're in the heart of the home, right? We're in the kitchen. Did you guys make any cookies or anything?
We're getting ready to.
Man, I need some cookies, can you tell? All right, so can we get down here? This is under our sink, right? So here's our garbage disposal, all right? And then under here, you see the same thing. We got red and blue hoses going to the feeds to braided aluminum, which means, tell you what, can you put the camera on me for a second? This is what I like to see. Honest Home Solutions, they've renovated this place. Most of this stuff's all new. This is done properly. So if I was that show on HGTV, Homes on Homes or whatever it is, he'd give you the thumbs up, Eric. You did this right. There are cheaper, easier, faster ways to do this than using the right stuff, but this is the right way to do it. You got red and blue for your colors, and you got braided aluminum coming in.
Yes.
Home run. So again, now what happens is, and we see this a lot at sales, when it comes to water damage. A lot of times, the majority of the places you're going to get water damage are bathrooms and kitchens, right? So if you look down and see water on the floor, now I've got kids, so what that tells me is somebody opened the dishwasher while it was running, and then they closed the door and water went everywhere.
Sure.
Right? We hope that's what it is.
Yes.
If it's not that, we got a problem. Right? So we want to get under here. If you're like us too, we've got cleaning products and all kinds of stuff under here. You got to take it out. You got to touch around, feel around, see what's leaking. Find that water leak, shut it off, and get a certified plumber out to take a look at it and get it fixed for you. Dishwashers are notorious. I'm going to give you a free tip. This has nothing to do with the home, but this is part of Hardcore Homeowner. Are you ready? If you've got small kids that use the liquid medicine,
sure.
You know what I mean, like liquid ibuprofen or Motrin or whatever it is, and you know the little caps. Yeah, those little shot glasses I call them.
Yeah.
If you put them in here and then close this and start it, and they fly out and get down into here.
There's one right there.
Is there? Well, there's a. Oh, you know what that is? That's a measuring spoon. This is the kind of stuff right here, though. When it gets down inside of there, it'll cause you a leak.
Sure.
This will jam up your machine, and it will absolutely leak everywhere. And then that beautiful downstairs that we just walked through is going to be like a rainforest if you're not home.
Don't need to do
Been
that.
there, done that, seen it. We didn't even plant that, dude. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But those little caps get down in there. Straws, like now they make straws that, because you can't have it. God forbid, if you live in California, you can't have straw. So they make them out of plastic now that you can wash them. You got to be careful, man. That stuff
Those
gets down in
straws
here.
are terrible.
It gets down in here. All right, so we want to make sure we know kind of, oh my gosh, there's water, now what? is what we want to avoid, right?
Sure.
We gotta, how do we respond to it when we see water? First of all, you say, oh crap, right?
Sure.
But I'm hoping that you get a little more educated out of this, that you'd say, okay, stop, let's figure out what the heck's going on here.
Sure.
Let's shut some things off, number one. If
Where
that
would
leak
you
is
start
still
with that?
leaking, well, it depends on where it's leaking. Again, if it's leaking right under here,
Sure.
first thing I'm gonna do is check my dishwasher. Yeah, call me. For you guys, I'll come take a look at it. No, but I get my flashlight, right, and look underneath here and see if there's a puddle underneath that machine.
Sure.
If there is, we may have an issue with the machine, which could be a faulty, connection, hose, could be something lodged inside of there, lots of things. Could be easy, could be hard.
Yeah.
But we gotta get the water fast.
Sure.
Water goes wherever it wants to go, right?
Definitely.
And we don't, it's really hard to get to it sometimes.
Exactly.
So we're gonna look under there. Well, like I said, we're gonna take everything out of here. Just get some towels, dry up, and then
Sure.
start watching and see if you can see it drip, see if you can feel it, see if you can hear it. That's what you wanna do when it comes to water.
Sure.
Same thing in that bathroom. You hear something? I'll tell you a story. I was at home, working in my home office. This goes back probably 10 years ago. And all of a sudden I hear this big pop, and it sounded like somebody turned on a garden hose in the house, right?
Wow.
So I go running to where we were downstairs, gang, down to the water heater area,
Sure.
and a connection, it was the old CPVC pressure fitting,
Sure.
popped, and it was pumping water. Like, you could have filled my swimming pool up. I mean, it was
Wow.
pumping. And if I hadn't been home to hear it and shut off the main, and I still had a ton of wet carpet, now
Sure.
it's clean water, so we were able to, remove the pad, throw it away, dry out the carpeting, put it all back together, clean it, and I was okay.
My teenagers would never hear us say headphones on.
Yeah.
So if it popped, we would never know.
That's it.
There's
You have earbuds, you can't, they don't hear anything. Yeah.
What
great tips.
So, I mean, if I was there to hear it, and if I hadn't been, that's the point. Like, some of this we can't do anything about.
Sure.
That's not about that I wasn't a hardcore homeowner. That was a bad pressure fitting for some bad product that was put into the house when we built it in the 90s, and it broke. And if that runs all day, I got 4 feet of water in my basement.
Sure.
So that checklist you just made is a good checklist that'll help you, because when it happens, you're like, where's the list? Is the refrigerator a good place for a hardcore homeowner to put the list
Listen,
on the
if you
side?
didn't go
Because
on-
my wife's not letting it go on the front, but can it go on the
You
side?
can put it in a drawer, just know where it is, put it on the
Sure.
inside of that closet door. Take it
your
on the inside of the
pantry.
pantry door. So if you didn't see the list that I just published I sent it out on the Facebook page, on Zales, I put it on RTI. You can take that, you can print it out. If you do your interviews, meet your contractors, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, I put in a spot to get a chimney sweep if you have a fireplace like you.
Yeah.
You gotta get that looked at, right?
Yeah.
Find a roofer. I mean, all the people, if you need a roofer, I can hook you up. I can hook you up with any of these people if you ask, right? But
So
do your
you
own
sit in
interviews.
central Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Harrisburg,
Lancaster,
Gettysburg.
Harrisburg, Central PA area, wherever you live,
Right.
find somebody local
Sure.
and tell them what you're doing. Tell them I'm trying to be educated. I'm trying to figure out how to take care of my property better.
Sure.
I want to be prepared before something happens. If it does, can I call you?
Sure.
Yes, great. What's your cell number?
Makes sense. Yeah.
I don't want your office number. It's not going to happen 8 to 5.
Yep.
They never do, right?
They never
They
do.
never do.
Never do.
So we want to make sure. One tip that I forgot to mention was behind that refrigerator right there, because that thing's got an ice maker in it.
Sure.
There's a hose that comes up to feed the ice maker and to give you fresh water or filtered water through that.
Sure.
If I'm you, once you're done watching this video, I would pull my fridge out and I would see what that hose is. If that hose is still that clear plastic hose, I would right now hire a plumber to come out and run a copper pipe, a copper tube from wherever it's tied into the feed
Sure.
to that machine. Because what happens is that the machine heats up, right? As it exhausts, it's blowing that behind in that cavity behind,
Sure.
and it's going to dry out that plastic tube.
Oh.
The majority
Wow.
of kitchen water losses we see are exactly
Behind.
ice machine inline.
Makes sense.
How about laundry
Get rid of
coming up every floor? Now it's a laundry on every floor.
Yeah,
Well-
think about it. How convenient is it to have the laundry room on in this house, the 3rd floor, where there's 4 bedrooms, right?
You can put it up there.
But let's just say it was.
Yes.
That's convenient for mom, right?
Sure.
Guess what happens though if you have an issue? Where's that water go?
Everywhere.
Downstairs.
All the way down.
Yeah.
So I like it down there.
Sure.
And go ahead and wear your Fitbit and get some extra steps. 'Cause that's just good for everybody.
Well, that's the
You
best
put it up
hoses to
there.
have.
Well, we talked about the hoses. You want that braided silver hose,
Sure.
right? Aluminum, you do not want the old rubber hoses because same thing. Heat up, cool down, they get old, they get brittle, they break, water everywhere. The good news is in this property, if that happens, you've got hard surface floors down there.
Sure.
And it's clean water. So we can be able to dry all that without having to.
How about dryer vents? You get them cleaned off, or should you ever get them
Talking
cleaned?
about the dryer vent. It's $125, gang.
Well,
So, I mean, I hate, you break the same number of over $100, it's like, gosh, that stings a little bit, I get it. But it's also $125,000 firewalls.
sure.
So, get the vent clean, and the bigger thing is there's all kinds of tricks, tips, and contraptions out there to clean the actual dryer. So if you're facing the dryer and you open it and you pull the lint filter out, you know how to let that out of there?
Definitely.
Unless you're my kids, then there's like a sweater built up. But you throw that away, right? Down in that cavity, we gotta clean that out.
Yeah, how do you get there?
Well, you use your vacuum cleaner. There are extension wands and all kinds of stuff. They make one that's like a brush setup that you can reach down there and just pull.
You hear this, cat?
You'd be surprised, man. So listen, honey.
Because we do so many loads. We had 6 at one time. The loads we did, you would think that we were professional.
Sure.
So it's important, right?
It's huge. You don't understand how much builds up in there.
And that's
the
a
lint
fire
trap gains. Let's say you pull the lint trap out,
Sure.
and it's loaded, right?
Sure.
Well, it didn't catch everything because it's loaded.
Yeah.
It goes down inside.
Wow.
And if you
Yeah.
snuff out that dryer, it is not good.
And dryers aren't cheap anymore.
Well, it's not even a dryer though. You can burn the whole house.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of tips. Don't run your dishwasher.
TVs.
Don't run your washer and
Yeah,
dryer.
exactly.
Eric, don't run your appliances if you're not home.
I didn't realize that till the one show.
Don't load the dishwasher and go to the movies.
What about at night when you go to bed?
I wouldn't do it, brother. Don't do it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Don't
how
do
that
it.
puts us in a bind.
Yeah.
Because what happens if it leaks and you're sleeping? It's going to run the whole cycle, right?
Sure.
So however many gallons that is on your floor.
Definitely.
Now it goes all night. Now it's just leaking, seeping, and running.
Yeah.
Stay up or don't run it. My wife is adamant about this. She'll stay up till 2 in the morning to get the kids' uniforms ready for the next day.
Wow.
If she forgot, she's like, I gotta do laundry.
Commitment.
And I'm like, have a good time and we'll go to bed. Because I'm a great guy. I'm a hardcore homeowner, not a hardcore husband. But no, she will literally not go to bed with it running. And it's huge.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor. Sit down in front of Google tonight and type in dryer fires.
Sure.
And just look at the photos that
Wow.
come up when you click images, and you'll see the destruction done to the home just because the lint filter was not clean.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Look at do water losses from washer and dryers and see. I mean,
More importantly, there's people living there, so
Right.
I'd like,
Well, and
I'd like
think
my
about
voice
it.
to make it out.
And
you
it's
know?
exactly that. And it's all about saying. Plus, you have neighbors, but this is
Yeah.
the road, right?
For sure.
So yeah, we have double 5/8, firewalls in between them. But dude,
Yeah.
smoke goes where it wants to. You're ruining people's lives. Just take care of your home. Be a
Sure.
hardcore homeowner. Be safe. Stop being lazy and cutting corners. Don't run the dishwasher when you're at the movies. Don't run the dryer if you're not home.
Sure.
You'll know right away if something happens.
And knowledge is key, man. Knowledge is power. Like a lot of stuff I've just never cared about or really knew about. So I mean,
It's a
you know,
big deal.
I understand the concept of how things work, but I don't know how to sometimes make them work.
For
So
sure.
so watching things like this and being in contact with people like yourself that do this for a living
For sure.
is, and really you got to listen to the tips, you know, because there's ways to avoid it. Sounds
And
like
I say
to me.
all the time, I mean, people even tell me, they go, why don't you shoot videos like that? You're trying to teach people how to not create issues, and my world is issues.
Sure.
Fire and water, right?
Without
So, I mean,
this for a little bit.
But I would rather educate people so that if they have a legitimate issue
Sure.
come happen, that they know who to call.
Definitely.
So that's what we do in sales. Do you have any rental properties?
Yes.
How many you got?
3.
Okay, so you have 3 rental properties right now, and the tenants in them, right?
Yep.
Very difficult to control what your tenants do. They're like children.
Yes.
I mean, it's not their house.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's outside of mine. It ain't my place, right? Sometimes there's
And
not.
property management companies are just amazing.
I'm not going there. They're one of my biggest lead sources.
No, I'm
One of
just
my
kidding,
biggest
man.
lead sources. Because they just, I mean, but think about it.
So would a hardcore homeowner or landlord maybe educate their tenants?
You educate, but the biggest one I'm talking about is go back to last
Let them know where
week.
stuff is and turn off.
Make sure your renters have rental
Yeah.
insurance.
And I- and I'd say-
Liability coverage.
I'd say on top of that, you know, as a renter before I was a homeowner, if somebody would have told me, you
Here's
know,
the
in
shut
the
off.
beginning, hey, here's the shut off, don't forget to take this filter out every 3 months for your, don't
Or
forget to
call
do
me,
this.
I'll come do it as the landlord.
No, for sure. But even a putting that somewhere, the same way you have that checklist for a house, having that for a tenant, having that for somebody that lives there, I can imagine that would be, it's huge in some people's lives, and they never really knew.
If I'm the landlord, I just wanted to have one number and I want it to be mine.
Sure.
Because if, when that old crap button rings, I need to be involved. Because
Definitely.
I'll take it from there. It's my property, right?
Sure.
So one that's easy to use for the tenant. That's what they pay for.
Definitely.
Right? Is to have all that sense of calm when something happens.
Sure.
It's being taken care of. And again, property management companies, that's what they should be doing.
Sure.
They should be logging when the furnaces the filters do to be changed. So I even have a relationship, and my wife hates this thing, but it's worth $150 a year to me by far.
Sure.
And that's an HVAC company that comes out twice a year, because I have 2 HVAC units, right?
Right,
One in the
fall
furnace,
usually, right?
one in the basement,
Yep.
and then 2 AC units outside. They come in October, they check everything, make sure I'm ready and good to go for the winter, right? They come in April, and they make sure that we're ready to open up and blow cold air for the summertime. And then by being involved in that relationship and having that contract, I also pay no service fees.
Sure.
If I have an emergency call,
Yeah.
I'm just paying an hourly rate, not an emergency fee.
And you have a guy or
So
a
there's-
girl.
and that's my guy.
So having that contract is, in your opinion, worth every cent.
It's worth every penny.
Sure.
'Cause
Because
if
what
I
does it
do-
cost to replace a furnace?
You know, as well
And
as I
they
do.
say,
I mean, if you have a ductwork in place and you fry both units, what, $5,000,
Yeah.
$4,000?
And that's cheap.
Unless you know somebody,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
that's-
if you go right off the street, 6,
Yeah.
get 3
Spend up to
bids, one's gonna be
75.
10.
Yeah, without a doubt.
No doubt about it. If you get
Without
3
a doubt.
bids, one will be 10, one will be 5.
So for $150, you could possibly add quite a few years onto what your furnace and AC
Oh my gosh.
is capable of to not have to
Listen,
spend $5 to
Do
$75.
you change the oil in your car?
No, I know. I pay somebody else.
What about
But then make sure it gets done, right?
Yeah.
We do that to prolong the life of the motor.
And there's a sticker on your car too.
That
You know,
one-
same thing. It's a reminder. Get the sticker done. Now your car.
And they're only as good as if you actually do it when it says it, right?
Agreed.
You know,
What
it's-
about home warranties? Are you for those? Or
You know, I like home warranties. I don't have a lot of knowledge in them, to be honest with you. There's so many of them out there.
Sure.
What I would tell you is make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you know what it covers. Make sure you know if there's a deductible. Make sure you know, is there a fee if they send somebody out? And what is that? Like what? They're gonna want.
And can you
they
use
want
your
money
guy?
for it. Yeah, I mean, if you have a home warranty, a lot of times you got to use the people in their network.
Sure.
So do we need a home warranty if we buy good appliances, if we take care of them, right? And we have a guy. Just like I said, it's $150 from an HVAC guy, right?
Sure.
You might know somebody, you might have a brother-in-law
What are good
who
appliances?
works for Howard Enterprises.
Yeah.
Pay
What are
him
good-
off the books.
Sure.
Say, I'll give you $50 to come out in April, I'll give you $50 to come out. Well, then, an extra $50
Sure.
for his family. Come take care of your stuff, make sure it's all, you don't need paperwork. You need somebody you can trust to say that's in working order.
Sure.
So
Without
what
You
are
know what
good
the-
appliances? What's a good brand? I mean, most people don't know what a good brand. Is there a good brand?
I don't know what there is.
I would tell you, yeah. I would say that looking at, I just did my kitchen when I moved in about 3 years ago, and I would say that a lot of different brands have different levels.
They all
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where you can go from, any brand that has their lowest level appliance, and you're gonna get what you pay for a lot of times, and then you have the high levels. I mean, you can spend as much as $8,000 on a Viking stove.
And
10.
listen,
So, but like, you can also
What about the warranties at the stuff? Because we do usually get the warranties. So what about the warranties when you buy stuff? Do you guys get them or not? We always
I look at what it costs, and I look at what you get. Does it prolong? Is it much more than what comes with the factory warranty, right? If it's a little bit of money for a lot of time, I'll buy it. If it's a lot of money for an extra year, I don't buy it. I also tend to ask questions like, well, if it's a good product, why do I need an extended warranty? And then the salesman looks at me like I have 3 heads,
Sure.
But there's some reality to it, right? So you do get what you pay for. Now, you're not going to go drive a car without test driving it, right? Okay, so you can't walk into Lowe's and run a load of dishes through the dishwasher, but you can do some homework, right? You can find out about these things. If you buy the Maytag builder grade bottom line, just means first tier. I don't mean like bottom shelf booze. I mean it's bottom line, the entry level. It'll tell you the life of it. You're gonna get 6 to 7 years out of it.
Sure.
You want more? Spend more money.
Yeah.
You want flashy and nice with bells and whistles? Guess what? Like, I like the old ones that still have the crank on, they're a little louder. I like the old builder grade ones that I know I'm gonna get my 7 years, but they're a workhorse, right?
Sure.
They work hard for that 7 years. You get me the big fancy one with all the computer buttons and stuff on it, you start adding electrical stuff, it's just more than can break, if you ask me.
So that I feel the same way about that. You know,
I mean, I think it looks
technology.
great.
When I buy stuff from Best Buy or technology stuff, I always get the warranty because you know you can't.
more than
You
can break.
just never know. Watch. Did you get the warranty on the watch?
We probably always
Probably did, right? I'm telling you, because I can't fix things. I don't know how to do that. So
I don't know how, if I can't fix it, I'm paying for I'm gonna know somebody.
For sure,
Right? I mean,
exactly.
that's all there is to it. I mean, it's okay if you don't know a lot about how to take care of a home. We're almost
Well, you
about-
said do the research, and I think that's
Yeah.
important. You know, and if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but don't make it over again. Don't put good money after bad. You know, because do the research because they're right. The products change, the names change.
And let me tell you something. You're always being sold something. I don't care if you're at Lowe's, whether they're on commission or not, and they're just an hourly Lowe's person.
Sure.
If I'm that guy, I want to say the most expensive thing I can sell you, just because that's what I want to do.
Sure.
I'll feel good about that. Natural sales, right?
Yeah.
Even if I'm not on commission, I want to see if I can get you to buy that $5,000 refrigerator, just because. So don't get sold something. Know what you're buying and go in and buy it.
With all the data that's available
Period.
now, with internet and everything like that, and knowing people, having a guy, before you make purchases, if you're making purchases without any idea what you're going to buy, in my opinion, you're acting silly.
It's okay if you do that, because you got that kind of money, Greg.
Yeah,
I mean, if it doesn't matter to you,
But a hardcore homeowner is going to do the research.
yeah, a hardcore homeowner's going to do the
For
research.
sure, right? Because you work hard for our money.
Yeah.
I spent a week researching a $225 chainsaw, because I
Sure.
was going to go with steel, or I should go with it. I mean,
What did you go
I
with?
went with steel.
So they want to know.
They're the best products.
All right.
That's the best stuff right there.
Lewis,
But
Blaine,
you
Troy.
gotta think about it. You got what you
Please
pay
share.
for. It's true in
How about lights, man? Lights, I know I want to go, but lights seem like this never-ending thing of trying to run down the trail for me. I don't know if anyone else. Lights are something I can't get the same color ever. I can't get the same light ever. And then the fans are always changing sizes. Like, is there anything advice on lights that you
Try being a remodeler. Yeah, if you're a remodeler and you're doing turns where you're buying properties, remodeling and selling them, whatever you want to call that, buy some in bulk.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know a lot of guys that do that. They have their color schemes, right? So for this house, we're going to go with that paint, that floor, and those lights.
Sure.
And that's what we're going to do. And this one, we're going to go tan, that one, we're going to go gray. So you have a package, right? So you want to buy them, sure. If you can get them in bulk, get them.
Definitely.
Put them in storage.
And I would say, even as someone
Tyler,
that
HVAC hero.
that never really had, I didn't do a lot of this stuff. I had to learn it. If you do need to learn it, you can, and I hate because people do this all the time. They go to Home Depot, or they go to Lowe's, or they go somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, I have this light, and it looks like this."
Yeah.
And if you just unscrew your light and take it with you, those guys do that for a living.
Let me tell you, you can do that with the bulbs. I mean, I go to Lowe's, listen, I'm going to I prefer Lowe's. I take pictures of things and take the phone and
Sure.
and I go, I need that.
Yeah. I mean,
Someone,
and they'll know what it is.
Somebody will go to ProDesk, whatever. But
For sure.
I mean, it's just, I think it's critical. The one that I left out, because we're in the winter, right? And if everybody, again, when you get off this video, do this right now. Go outside to where your spigot is. You may have one in the front, one in the back of the house, depending on your house. We call it a hose bib.
Yeah.
Old school, my grandpa called it the spigot.
Sure.
Make sure the hose is disconnected.
Definitely.
Do you know why?
No.
All right, here's what happens. And it doesn't matter if you used the hose over the winter or not. You used it all summer. You left it connected. There's water inside of that. In the hose bib itself, in the pipe. What happens is if you don't unhook that hose and let that all drain out, before it starts to freeze, it'll freeze inside of it. Right? And that's okay.
Yeah.
Except it's got to thaw, and that's when it cracks. Because as it thaws, it expands, and it'll blow that thing right open. Now, what you don't know is you can't see that it's broken. It's
Till you
broken
turn it
behind
on.
the bib
Yep.
in the wall. So now you hook your hose up in the spring, you turn on the water, It still works.
And your basement-
The pressure might be a little low, but it still works. But guess what? Your wall's filling up. I've seen it 1,000 times.
I've seen it as
They're out
well.
there watering the ground. It's water in the basement too.
Yeah.
And they're not that difficult to change, but it's going to cost you a plumber to come do that $250.
Yeah.
Just unscrew the hose.
Definitely lots of
Sure
tips to just make sure that you avoid costly expenditures.
Hey, we're gonna get some cold temps coming up. I think Saturday night down to 17, 14.
Supposed to snow this
whatever.
weekend,
Gonna do some snowing. So I'll leave you guys with this tip when it comes to not letting your pipes freeze. And I've had a lot of people tell me, we've lived in this here house for 35 years and never had a freeze. I get it, but I'm telling you the numbers are on my side. At some point, there's no rhyme or reason. A pipe that's never frozen in 35 years decides to freeze in 2020. It's gonna happen. So what you wanna make sure to do is, if you wanna grab the camera real quick. If you know it's gonna get deathly cold at night, right? Just open up the cabinet doors like this, turn on the faucet, about like that. Now we've got water flowing through our pipes, right?
Sure.
Flowing water doesn't freeze, and having the cabinet doors open allows heat from the unit into that cavity and allow the trap not to freeze.
I want to come to your house like right before a snowstorm.
You know, I'm like a bartender though. Like bartenders never have any beer. The carpenters' houses are never repaired.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I think mine's pretty safe. I've
Yeah.
been through some of this before. But you can even put a space heater here if you know it's notorious for, because this is an interior wall. So you guys, whoever, they don't need to do it here.
Sure.
We're in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Right? But typically,
that laundry is
typically
right
a
towards
sink,
that door,
but the sink is typically on the outside wall of the window.
Sure.
That's where we want mom to do the dishes, right?
Master bath just like that.
You better open that cabinet door and let some heat in there.
Sure.
And maybe even let it trickle. If it gets down below 15 degrees, just let it trickle a little bit. Turn it off in the morning because it's going to warm up.
Sure.
Just do some of these things. It's important.
Those are
Check
awesome
the-
tips,
Check
man.
the
I'm gonna
fridge
use them.
on. Make sure you know where your shutoffs are. Don't chintz on the hoses for washer and dryer. Clean the dryer vent.
Definitely.
Just be diligent. It's so out of sight, out of mind. We live our lives. We work all day. We come home, play with our kids. We have dinner. We watch Jeopardy, go to bed. I mean,
Are we gonna get badges like Boy Scout, like hardcore homeowner badges?
I gotta figure
or
something
pins
out.
for hats, right?
I got shirts being
No,
made.
but I'm not a hardcore homeowner yet, but now we're gonna need to be. Like,
But do you have a guy?
Yeah, I got a guy. For sure.
You gotta have a guy.
It makes you want to know, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
sure.
want to educate the people around you.
I got
You
a
know?
call. I'm not kidding. I got a call Friday. I did a watch party on our show that I had with Adam on the insurance part. I did a watch party on Friday, and a guy called me from Texas. A guy I went to college with, right? From Lubbock, Texas.
Start a watch party now.
And I didn't have his number. I haven't talked to him since 1992.
Wow.
This
wow.
dude hits me through Facebook Messenger and says, Matt, it's Adam from college. Dude, you gotta call me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is pretty. So I called him, he's like, hey, I want to talk about this insurance stuff. So let me ask you. He had questions about his insurance policy. And I'm like, did you watch the video and just go meet with your agent and talk it through, man? I mean,
Yeah, but you know what? People get
It's
so
a reach,
busy.
it's unreal.
You're doing a great job of
Phone.
bringing people back on track. People get busy. They have stuff going on. They gotta get the wash done. They gotta get dinner done. They gotta get the kids ready for school. Blah blah blah. And you're like, oh my God, do I really want to go check the vent? Do I really want to go see if that's all? But the seriousness of it, right? Like, who doesn't want to be a hardcore homeowner, right?
Sure.
Like you
it's
do
cheap.
because
And
you
it's not a big time
want to-
commitment. I mean, it's
No.
not like it's a big, it's just, it's a little
These
sense
are-
of awareness once in a while.
These are all little things. I mean, it took you how long to do that? Come up here and go through everything? Maybe 10 minutes max. And that's probably my biggest problem sometimes is I'm just in the hustle and bustle of life. Like, oh, kids got to go here, wrestling practice this time. That filter would be fine. And I say that filter would be
Here's-
fine.
Then you get home, just
2 months.
watch Hardcore Homeowner episode 5, so you want to kick back.
Here's what I would challenge you not to do though. Don't load the dishwasher when you're getting ready to go to bed and go, oh, if I don't run it now, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and run it and go to bed. Just,
Sure.
It's not worth it.
How about, I've heard that you can put too much of the washing stuff in there.
You can put too much soap, which it won't
We were-
necessarily
so it made it
cause
all
it to fail, but
weird.
it won't clean as well.
Yeah.
You really don't need to overfill with soap. They say it doesn't
We
clean
said
as
we
well.
should never
And
should.
two, you shouldn't overload it
Yeah.
with dishes. I mean, when you put 10,000 forks in there, only 8,000 of them are going to get clean.
No, agreed. My dad had when I growing up, my dad was kind of when he loaded that dishwasher, it loaded a specific way. If I went and did it, or anybody else in my family went and did it, we'd just.
I wish we had some of those.
I
He would open it up,
I
reorganize.
know every dish Maybe he was.
I
didn't even know.
Well, that's the thing is that it used to be, right? Because some of this stuff I learned from my dad.
Sure.
You know, and I'll be 50 in June.
Yeah, I mean, we
so
used to flux and copper and wash the pipe and do the soldering. I can't do any of it. When I was a kid, you had to like help out. Sure. And like they had all the tools for this stuff, cutting copper pipes and
Well,
stuff.
we had to think outside the box a little bit as kids too. And my dad, when I told my dad I wanted a new bike, he's like, "Go make some money."
No, for sure.
So I mean, I remember I grabbed a, back then. It was when battery screw guns were still brand new. It was the
Sure.
Makita, right? I grabbed a screw gun and a bunch of 2.5-inch screws, and I went to all the neighbors' houses and said, "Can I screw your fence, mend your fence?
Well,
Let's make sure the pickets are on tight for you." Yep, I'll give you $10. Put a screw in every one of them.
When I was a kid, we got real tools. That's how we had plastic ones. It was like, yo, here's your tool.
yeah.
I would be
Whenever
whatever.
could you imagine like giving a 10-year-old like real hammer and nails to that? People would be like,
What are you doing?
Did you
What are
see
you
the
doing?
rotary phone? You see the rotary phone, right?
Yeah.
This guy took a rotary phone, he had it covered, and he took his 3 kids, they were teenagers in,
Sure.
and he had a phone number written on a piece of paper. And he handed the phone number, and he took the cloth off of the old rotary phone, and he goes, "You have 5 minutes to dial that number." They had no idea.
what to do.
It was really comical.
No, I mean it's crazy. Even
But
talking to my
we
kids,
sound
like,
old right now, don't we?
even just a tape, man. You hand a kid a tape
I don't
until the age
know
of
what it is.
15.
No.
It is crazy. But hey, man, this was a great tip. So if anybody didn't see this whole video, and this is one you want to go back to
Tips from the beginning, which is nice.
and follow through with it. You're going. It's cold. We're in the coldest month of the year, January, February. Pay attention to these little things. He's got some great information for you. Great stuff. So thanks for having me today. That was
Thanks
awesome,
for letting
man.
us use the property. This is nice. I mean, we didn't want to walk through where there's lots of contents and things like that. And this is a perfect opportunity to kind of highlight. And again, I found all good stuff.
Yeah,
No, stop talking.
You passed, buddy.
So yeah, and so this is 11:28.
Now it's an open house with pizza. Come from the open house and the pizza.
That's right.
Domino's is on their way.
We might have cookies for that.
Nick Funel's watching right now, so he'll bring pizza for the open house.
And we'll be here.
1128 Bluebird Drive in Dallastown, PA.
It's a 4-3.
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
And you get CE credits for your hardcore homeowner.
Well, you got
credits.
you
You got
got
CE credits.
you got to drive out back with a 1-car garage.
One-car
With a
garage.
long 1 car.
Yeah.
You can park on the curb out in
We're
the
right
front.
near Heritage. And there's parking in the back on
We're
the other
right
side.
by Heritage Hills Golf
Right
Course.
by Heritage Hills
So
Golf
that
Course.
the location's huge.
And the new stakeout, shout out to Rob, is right across the street as
Is it?
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
What time is it?
Exactly. So he's almost done there.
That's
so,
cool.
This actually takes you back through Camp Betty, Washington. Great location to go to the new Bridgewater, that Briarwood course
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, the Bridgewater, White Rose at Bridgewater. Check that out.
Yeah,
Excellent
they've
food.
done such a
Make
good
sure you
job
check
over
them
there.
out.
Yeah, they changed that
So
whole
listen,
thing.
I can tell you, I've looked at this place. I've been through a lot of flips, and I can always notice little red flags and little lipstick on a pig type things, and I haven't seen any. It's the first honest home solutions home I've been in, but I've always heard great things.
I
But
appreciate
now I
that.
have eyes on it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing he did when we walked through the door, when we got here to prep for this, is he looked at it like it was his house, which it is for right now. But I mean, he's walking through, making sure his house is presentable the way it needs to be, and that shows care and concern. So I think if you're gonna get this one, he might even let it go for $179.8.
It's a very real
Right?
possibility.
And you get the hardcore homeowner discount.
Discount. Yes.
$179.8
For
today.
today, hardcore homeowner discount's $179.5.
$179.5.
Look at that!
So I'm bringing value already.
Now, the money you save, you can go ahead and get your HVAC contract. For
You can
There
get
you
stuff
go.
looked at. That's right.
And I bet if I push a little bit, Matt will give you his personal number to be his guy.
And then
I'll give it to you right now. So, and actually, honestly, you can comment in the section. I love it when people reach out and ask questions. Hey,
sure.
who do I call? How do I get to know? I'm not outgoing like you. How do I talk to somebody to find out if they'll come do that for me? Can I use your guy? Yeah, you can call my guy. He's going to say yes or no if he's got busy, if he's too busy.
Got
or
time,
not.
he's got time,
I mean,
yeah.
John, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
It's too important. So thanks for letting us use this house.
Hey, I appreciate you coming in and checking it out because
Scotty,
obviously it's good to have a guy that goes over some of your stuff. I can look at everything, but some of that stuff, I need those hardcore homeowner house tips as well.
I used to
So
tell
thanks
people
for
all the
checking it
time, you
out.
can call me now and I'll give you some tips. You can call me later and you give me your checkbook.
Hey,
Because when you have a loss, it's bad.
there's a nugget for
They're
you.
all bad.
Keep that.
So,
So here's the thing, like, this is what I like is people that are on social commerce or on their phone. That's where you are all day. So why not start finding your guys and gals? And I support
You can
gals.
go right
We're
into your
girl
Facebook.
power. So look for a girl plumber. Look for a girl electrician.
you like that?
Boom. I got $3 on my
Put
cell
it up
phone.
tonight.
Girl power. So
Put it up
find your
tonight
gal.
on Facebook. Put it up and say, looking for recommendations for a solid, local, trustworthy residential plumber.
Yeah.
Go. And people will chime in and go, my brother-in-law's a great dude, and here's his number.
Sure.
That's where you
So
get
what
it.
would they look at? If they're going to go look, can you tell them? Because most people, should they have a license? And I know they're required, but there are people that don't. So what would you tell someone?
This is
if you're
great.
talking
This is
about-
great. Let's extend a little bit. This is great. It's really all about your gut, some of it, right?
Sure.
Now, there are credentials. I mean, you don't have to be a licensed journeyman electrician,
Sure.
plumber, and all those things to be good and knowledgeable, right? I like the kid who started sweeping the floor as the gopher, who worked his way up in the company and now owns a place or whatever. A lot of it has to do with just a conversation.
Sure.
I mean I meet people all the time. I was looking for good contractors for certain trades.
They should
to
be
up
kinda
to my house,
close to it, right?
I don't do roofing because I can't afford the insurance on paying roofers.
Sure.
So I sub out to roofing companies with no roofing, right? So
Teach
when
them
I'm
that.
at Turkey Hill getting gas and I see a pickup pull up it's in nice shape, it's got ladder racks on it, it's not full of trash and all that
Sure.
crap, and I see a guy get out, it looks like, I have a conversation with that guy. He looks like a contractor to me. Literally. That's exactly how I do it. And they go, that's exactly what I am. Well, I've only been doing it 28 years though.
Sure.
Right there?
Yeah.
I already like you.
Sure.
Right? Now we're having a conversation. Hey, I'm just trying to I'm new to the area, or I don't know anybody, or whatever. I need a plumber for that emergency that's bound to happen.
Definitely.
Dude, here's my card. Call me. Wake me up.
Yep.
If you get that feel, now what you do is you wait a couple days and then you call
The key, he
him.
said,
And if he
wakes me up.
Listen, if he answers the phone, you go, hey, we met at Turkey Hill the other day. I'm just making sure this is you.
Sure.
You said you'd answer and you did. Love
Yeah,
it.
thanks.
And you connected the dots a couple times. He won't forget you when you call again.
Definitely.
Right? Let him know what you do is the other key to that, right?
Love
Let him know what you do. How can you help somebody else?
it. Sure.
Well, listen, this is what I do for a living. I bake cake. I own a bakery. When your daughter has her birthday, come see me. I'll hook you up.
Sure.
Okay, now we got common ground. Now we have a relationship, right? Because chances are, you line a guy up today and don't need him for 2 years. Is he going to remember when you call? You want to say hi once in a while.
Definitely.
I mean, you got to kind of, I've been real lucky just from being in the business of meeting people. I mean, I've got a lot of people I can call, but if you're a homeowner new to the area or not, maybe you're just 28, just got married, gonna have a baby, and everything's exciting. You don't know nothing about how to swing a hammer.
Sure.
You better find some people.
Definitely.
'Cause what if Dad lives in Seattle? He ain't much help.
Or you're gonna pay. You're gonna, or you're gonna,
And I mean more than one way.
yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
More than one way, because there are shady people out there.
Without a
There's
doubt.
no question.
Yep.
So yeah, I would just say have a conversation, interview them, talk to people. I know one guy went and hung out at Home Depot at the pro desk,
Definitely.
and when you see the pickup pull up and says so and so electrician, he sit and talk to him.
Ferdy Vaughn. What's up,
Ferg.
man?
Ferg, get off my Cowboys. He hates my
So
Cowboys.
the important thing is
I
print
hate
the list.
I know you do.
Print the list out. If you don't know, just go on sales
Yep.
page and you'll see print the list out and start finding your guy, finding your gal.
If you want to
that
leave a
you're-
comment in here, I'll put the list back up on this post so you can
Yeah.
you go in, it's a document, you just print it out, put it on the fridge. Fill it
And if
out.
you're that guy or that gal,
Chime in.
then put it on there, right? Like if you're not afraid to show face or put yourself out there, then
Right.
then that's it.
And even
right?
if you don't, let's say you're in Shrewsbury, you don't want to go to Hanover.
Sure.
I'm a Shrewsbury guy. I'll help you out if anybody needs me. There's also a Facebook group out there. I created 4 groups on Facebook. I don't know if you're in them or not. York County Contractors Connection, Dauphin County Contractors Connection, Lancaster County Contractors Connection,
Wow.
and Cumberland County Contractors Connection.
Hi, Kat.
They're Facebook groups.
Sure.
So you can go join it on the address. If you say request to join, I'll put you right in. It's a bunch of contractors and a bunch of homeowners and a bunch of flippers and a bunch of real estate guys that can all say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to do hardwood floors.
That's awesome.
I do hardwood floors. Let's talk. And it's just a way contractor connection.
Without a doubt.
Go get connected. York County Contractors. No, York County Contractor Connections, I think it is.
Yeah,
check
listen,
out
that. Join that.
Because listen, we've had experience, my wife and I. We had someone that said they could do floors, and they poured the stuff on, right, to make it look smooth. Then we found out by Googling that's not how you do it. Right? Like it's a way different problem. It was leaking under our basement, so we can avoid this by going by these tips. You know,
You gotta be careful. Somebody says they
and I'm
can
like,
use
oh, it looks nice, but it didn't work. It never dried.
super glossy.
Oh,
You know what I mean? But a lot of homeowners, you know, I'll put my stuff out there. You know, it's hard to find. Now with this, it's great. You can, as a hardcore homeowner, you own finding out your people, right? And asking around, having a conversation.
Save yourself some money,
Something
build
you-
relationships.
That's right, build relationships.
Do
Don't
it
be
like-
afraid to talk to people.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's how I got married.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
So
baby.
fine. And if you're looking to buy a house,
Where are we at? Where are we at?
1128 Bluebird Drive. This flip is just done, so it is being cleaned
So
as
what
we
school
speak.
district are we in?
Downtown.
So Dallastown.
Right by Heritage Hills. Great location.
We appreciate it.
Terrific
And
flip.
Hardcore Homeowner said
Stamp of approval, baby.
they gave their stamp of approval. So thank you guys, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Man,
Anytime, man.
great
Thanks
time.
a lot.
Always great time.
Great job.
Hit it up, guys.
Always.
Take care.